Hi guys! I am very excited to say I have finally gotten my very first colors of the Schmincke Super Granulating watercolors. These are my first Schmincke at all. In fact, the only watercolors I own are the Choosing Keeping Gansai watercolors, which I absolutely love, but I'm pretty sure they're all single pigment and some of them are almost gouache-like even, and I just wanted to try other types. I have these three, and I did place an order for 5 Daniel Smith watercolors. That will be here in 5 to 10 days. I'm still deciding if I'm going to wait to air this and just attach the video of me swatching those onto the end of this video, or if I'm just going to go ahead and make this just a nice short little video and Daniel Smith will be their own. I'm probably going to do that, but you can see I use some of the tubes, and that's simply because I put them in this palette that I just got today. They're still wet and everything. I just put them in there. And I did make this chart to keep in this palette, and I did the small swatches. But the reason I'm doing nice big swatches now of all three is because with these separating and granulating colors, it's easier to see the effect when you do like a big pool area of the paint. I don't know if this is showing, but the blue actually has a little yellow that you can see peeking through. But when you do big watery swatches, that gets a lot more obvious, and you can really they shine much better when they're used in bigger, wetter, large scale areas. So I'm just gonna do 3 little big pebble shapes and see what we can get these guys to look like. For anyone wondering, it is Tundra Blue, Forest Gray, and Forest Blue that I got. I plan on getting more in the future, but I'm just getting them a few at a time right now. And yeah, let's get into it. I'm very excited. We're going to be starting with the Forest Blue. And I want to use quite a bit of both paint and water, so I can see the color and the separation, like I said. Whoops. Even without separation or anything, this color is such a pretty blue. Let me see if I can get this up. I don't want that to contaminate the next swatch. There we go. Add some more water to some places, and then I'll add some more pigment to other places so we can see a difference. I would love to have the whole Schmincke Super Granulating collection. There are maybe a couple I don't need because some of them are pretty similar, but for the most part, I think they're just absolutely gorgeous. I'm just going to add a bit of water so we can see some more separation. And the separation tends to happen once it dries. So you tend to not see it right away. And then once it starts drying is when you really see the pigment separate, or the minerals separate. So yeah, that is the Tundra Blue, which is actually this one. Next, we're going to do the Forest Gray. Oops. I used to only like, not very vibrant colors, but I really didn't like neutrals. I didn't like foresty, gloomy almost colors. And then recently I've just really gotten into it, and I really love that color palette. So all of the colors I got, these and the Daniel Smith, are all very moody colors, and I made myself, when I ordered the Daniel Smith, I made myself add like I think I got like an orangish yellow, and I was like, I need to get something that isn't just like moody greens and blues. So I forced myself to add something else because you got to have accents and not just have all the same color palette, obviously. And I do like the color I chose still. It's not like I made myself get a color I didn't want, but I didn't want to get wrapped up in just what my current mood is and then my whole collection be just that vibe. If in the future I'm not in the mood for that vibe, I would like options. And not that he watches it, shout out to my grandpa. He was sweet enough. I painted him something just like random, and I had sent it to him, and I wasn't expecting anything like for it. Like I was just sending him a gift, and it was something just really small. It was just a little mountainscape with some bison, because he lives in Wyoming. I have a hair on there. Anyways, I just wanted to send him something, and he was nice enough. He sent a thank you card afterwards, and he actually sent me some money for, specifically for art supplies, to get more art supplies. He is very supportive of me being an artist. The only other artist in the family was his brother. I say was, he's alive. I just don't think he paints anymore. Yeah, he's always been sweet and supportive, and he sent me some money for art supplies, and that was why I'm able to get these, and I really appreciate that. So that was the Forest Gray, and last is the Forest Blue. Try not to just drip water directly into the pan. Because it's still wet, it doesn't need that additional water. Don't want it to overflow. And this is just acid-free 300 GSM watercolor paper that I'm doing it on. I didn't want to do a non-watercolor paper and then obviously it react poorly and not show what they really look like. I definitely recommend swatching your paint on the type of paper you would be using it on so that you have a more accurate idea of what it will look like when you use it on that paper. I also recommend, which I'm doing right now, using 2 cups of water when you do any watercolors to prevent, or at least help prevent, contamination. I wash my brush in 1 cup of water very thoroughly, and then I use the other cup of water as the water I pick up with the brush to use with the paint. And it obviously there can still be minor contamination, but it definitely reduces it a lot. And I've seen a big difference with that, not getting muddy, contaminated colors. You can already see the yellows starting to peek through in this swatch, which is exactly what I wanted. That's why I love these colors so much. And so you guys know the Tundra Blue, which is this first one, it has 4 out of 5 stars for 4 out of 5 stars for light fastness. I'm actually going to be cutting these in half though, each of these, to do my own light fast tests just to be on the safe side. But 4 out of 5 stars for light fastness for the Tundra Blue, and the other 2 have 5 out of 5 stars for light fastness, so they should all be pretty good, but I want to see the difference between the 4-star and the 5-star, because I really only like to use light fast paints. I've said this before in a video, but I never know when I'm going to make something that I'm just messing around, and then I end up really liking it and wishing it was light fast so that I could hang it on the wall or something. So I like to always use light fast materials. I'm also in the currently working on doing light fast tests for all of my choose and keeping Gonzai paints, all of my colored pencils, which there are 3 different types of colored pencils I own, and my Tombow watercolor markers, because I haven't done light fast tests for anything, and it was only recently I was like, oh, I should probably do that, instead of just assuming like this one thing is light fast or not, or going off even like what I see in videos, which I'm sure they're accurate, but I have heard people like get discrepancies between, you know, someone will say like, oh, I used this and it wasn't actually perfectly light fast, and then other people will have done tests and it did seem to be light fast. So I'm just going to be doing my own to be safe with all of mine. And in a few months, I'll be making a video of the results. So you'll get to see, I have 3 of the 4 seasons of the Shoes and Keeping watercolors. And I have, let's see, Prismacolor, Premier pencils, Faber-Castell Polychromos pencils, and Faber-Castell Gold Faber pencils. And I swatched all of them, all of the colors I have of each of those. I have maybe like 15 or 20 Tombow watercolor markers, and I swatched all of those also. And now I'm going to be doing these. So, and then the Daniel Smith that I get. I also plan on buying one of those little hot air guns that you can use to, I'm trying to unfold this paper, there we go, that you can use to dry your paints faster, so that when I'm doing videos like this, I'm not just waiting. I'm trying to decide if I should have put more paint on them. Specifically this one, I put a lot of water in, but it's just now starting, I can see a warmer green in this corner, as opposed to this, you know, in the center and even the edges, it's a lot darker, but over here and over here, it's definitely warmer green. Here I can see, I don't know, let me stand up, see if I can make sure this is focused. I can see yellow all through here, which I love, and I knew that was supposed to do that. I don't remember if these are really supposed to have a second color. I bought them like over a week ago, but this definitely has yellow or green. It's not very bright in here, unfortunately, but the lighting in the room, I mean. It definitely has some brighter green showing up in the corners. And then this is just very nicely granulating and textured. I love that. I'm going to use that for like mountainscapes. It would basically put the stone texture to the mountain for me, which I'm very excited about. But yeah. Oh yeah, you can really see the yellow coming through on this. I love these. I'm very excited. And fingers crossed that the light fast test does well. I don't really have a concern about it because, like I said, they're marked as 5 stars, these two. The 4-star is the only one I'm worried about. I'm just not sure how fugitive or not light fast it needs to be for them to consider it a 4-star instead of a 5-star. So, especially because it's my favorite of the 3, I'm like, please, please be like light fast enough. Like, maybe it'll change a little, but like where it wouldn't affect the color scheme of the entire painting, like that would be preferred. So, yeah. If these get any more separated and stuff, I will show the results of that, you know, because they're not fully dry yet. So if they change any more, I'll show those results in the Daniel Smith video that I'm going to be doing in a week or 2. And yeah, thanks for watching. Very excited. Let me know if you have any of these super granulating Schmincke paints and which one your favorite is. I'm making a list of ones that I want to buy, so definitely give me recommendations if you have any. The Schmincke and the Daniel Smith are the 2 brands I'm really focused on collecting, though I am getting some Roman Schmalls, hopefully in the near future also. And yeah, see you guys next time.